All right, so we are going to be talking about dividing decimals today. And you're going to have some where the decimal is the dividend, and you're going to have some where it is the quotient, or sorry, the divisor. So we'll cover both of those. Let's first look at this one. And we've got 19 and 2/10 divided by 6. So we're going to set this up just like a regular division problem, okay? And so I'm going to put the decimal point right aligned with the decimal point in our dividend, okay? In my quotient line, you need to line those things up. So now we're just going to divide this just like there's no decimal point, but we want to keep place value in mind. So 6 goes into 19 3 times, and then 3 times 6, that is an 18. And if I subtract, I get a 1, and then I drop the 2. So 6 goes into 12 2 times, and 2 times 6 is a 12. And if I subtract, I get a 0. So here, my quotient is going to be a 3 2/10. Okay? Now remember that multiplying and dividing are inverse operations of each other. So if I'm going to take 3 2/10 and multiply it by 6, I should expect to get this dividend. Okay? So 6 times 2 is a 12, carry the 1. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is a 19. And there is 1 place value to the right of the decimal. So you can see that it does check out. Okay? Now, you don't have to do this on every time, but, you know, it's a good thing to know that you can do it. All right, so here we've got 47 hundredths, and we're going to divide that by a 5. Okay, so again, I'm going to put my place value, my decimal point, I'm going to stack this in my quotient line and my dividend. I'm going to do them the same way. Okay, I want everything to line up. So 5 doesn't go into 0. 5 does not go into 4. You need to put these zeros to hold place values. Okay, we'll talk about this here in just more in just 1 second. So 5 goes into 47 9 times. So 9 times 5 is a 45. And if I subtract, I get a 2. Now, we're not going to do remainders with decimals. Okay, it's not that you can't. It's just that that's not the way that we're going to choose to do things. So I'm going to need to add a 0 back here. Okay, which means I'm going to drop that 0. So now how many times does 5 go into 20? Well, that would be 4. And so 4 times 5 is a 20. And if I subtract, I get a 0. So you can write your answer really in 2 ways. You can write it in this way, right? That's 94 thousandths. Or you can drop the 0 off from the 1's place value. I would prefer you to write it this way. Okay? That's a preference, though, not necessarily a mandate. All right. So what happened here was we ran out of place values, and so we decided to add a 0 here at the end. And that's one of the techniques that we're going to use. So now here with this problem, this is the first one that we're going to have kind of an issue, because what you need to have, your divisor needs to be a whole number. Okay? So there's a really easy way to fix this. Okay? You can move the decimal point 1 place to the right here and 1 place to the right for the 54. So it would really be 540 divided by 9. Okay? Now let's talk about the mathematics of what's going on here. You know that you can do anything to the top and the bottom of the numerator, right, as far as multiplying. right? When we're talking about getting common denominator and things like that. Really what we're doing here is we're multiplying the top and the bottom by a 10. So 54 times 10 is 540, and 9/10 divided or multiplied by 10 is a 9. All right, so this is the mathematics of what's going on when we are adjusting this divisor. Okay, so 540, and I'm going to divide that by a 9. So 9 goes into 54 6 times, and I believe it goes evenly, doesn't it? Yep. So 9 goes into 0 times. So my quotient here is a 60. All right. My next one here, I've got 9 and 400. Sorry, I got those numbers switched up. 4 and 941 thousandths divided by 81 hundredths. So I need to move this decimal point here twice to make it an 81, which means I need to move this one twice. So this one would be 494.1. Okay, 494 and 1/10. So we're going to go through our regular algorithm. So notice we've accomplished what we want. Our divisor is not a decimal. Okay, so 81 going into 494. How many times is that going to go? And let's see here. Oh, I need to stack my decimal point. Let's go with 6. Let's see what happens here. So 6 times 1 is a 6. 6 times 8 is a 48. And if I subtract here, I get what? An 8. And then I drop the 1. Well, that's nice because 81 goes into 81 1 times. So we do not have a remainder. So there we go. All right. Now, stacked on top of all of this is the fact that if we have signs here, it works the same way. Okay. So we can already, without even really attempting this problem, we can know that our answer is going to be negative because a positive divided by a negative is a negative. Okay. So now we need to figure out what are we going to do if we have 48 and 8/10 divided by 4/10. So in order to make this divisor a whole number, I have got to move the decimal point to the right once, which means I have to do it also for my dividend. So 4 divided into 488, so 4 goes into 4 1 time. 4 goes into 8 2 times. 4 goes into 8 2 times. And so we're done. So my result here is going to be a negative 122. So remember those signs, right? You got a plus, a minus, and a minus. So a positive divided by a negative is going to get me a result that's negative. Okay, so just like last time when we were together, I want you guys to take a few moments and I want you to pause this video and I want you to grab your calculator and I want you to multiply all of these things. Oh, come on, I don't want to do that. So pause the video and multiply all this stuff and let's see what happens here, okay? All right, so for this first one, 532 and 53 thousandths divided by 10, the decimal point is going to move to here. It's going to be behind the 3. If I divide it by 100, it's going to be behind the 5. If I divide it by 1,000, it's going to move one more place, so it's going to be in front of the 5. If I divide by 10,000, it's going to be 2 places to the left of the 5. So it's going to be 0.05 and then the rest of the number. And then over here for the dividing by 100,000. All right, you guys see the pattern here? Okay, we're going to move the decimal point to the left the same number of zeros that we have here. Okay, so that's the pattern. So for example, if I want to divide 74 5/10 divided by 100, there are 2 zeros here. So I'm going to move this decimal point to the left twice. So this would be 745 thousandths. Okay. Now you can go through this exercise putting any number that you would like in here in this spot, and you're going to see the same pattern as you use this table to divide down. Okay. All right. Hopefully you guys go vote, and I will see you guys on Thursday? All right. Have a good day.